and I need you. Oh my God, have mercy. My brother, my sister, this is the Black Pot. We speak truth to power. I remember we don't like to criticize, but if we must criticize to build, we will only just criticize to build. Today we have a number of issues to discuss, and I need you to come along. Let us put all the party partisanship away, so that we can deal with our own problems. I'm reading this from My Joy Online, and it says Bagbin traveled to Dubai with a skeletal staff. And this is coming from the Speaker's Council. Bagbin traveled to Dubai with a skeletal staff. And this one was published today, the 30th of November, 2021. And I read, the Speaker's Council, Magnus Kofi Amoate, has debunked claims that the Speaker of Parliament traveled to Dubai with a large entourage. According to him, those claims are false and designed to tarnish the hard-earned reputation of Alban Sumana Bagbin. The Speaker, he said, is traveling with only 4 members of his staff. In a statement signed by Mr. Kofi Amoate on Monday, he said the Speaker, being mindful of the country's economic situation, opted to travel with a comparatively skeletal staff. He said this was part of the Speaker's desire to protect the public's purse by being frugal and spending prudently. Indeed, the Speaker has on a number of occasions stated openly and continues to maintain his position for members of Parliament to help safeguard the public purse, and so has been mindful of same in all his dealings as Speaker, he said. He added, the office of the Speaker wishes to assure the general citizenry of his commitment to protecting the public purse at all times. Parliament is also committed to seeking the best interest of the people they represent and will continue to always do so. Meanwhile, he explained that the Speaker is entitled to routine medical checkups, just like officials of executive and judiciary of government. It is trite knowledge that most staff of some ministry, departments and agencies also have similar facilities at their disposals and continue to take advantage of such arrangements to their benefit. My brother, my sister, I'm glad that they have finally come out with a statement. My brother, my sister, Alban Bagbin is the Speaker of Parliament. Alban Bagbin is a member of the opposition party. In fact, the largest opposition party in Ghana, to be precise. By some divine manipulation, he got nominated as the Speaker of Parliament, to the chagrin of so many different people in government. I'm giving you all this rundown so that when I hit the nail on the head, you would understand it better. Alban Bagbin, since he became the Speaker of Parliament, has gone through a lot of opposition. He has an avowed stance that Parliament will no longer be a rubber stamp for the executive. What does Blakk Rasta mean by that? In the past, Parliament was an uninterrupted conduit pipe for the flow of wrath from the executive, undiluted, unprovoked, and unstopped. My brother, my sister, in the past, Parliament was nothing but a white elephant sitting down to swallow hook, line, and sinker anything that the executive regurgitated. Like the dog that would always run back to his vomit. As the psalmist wrote, Parliament was only ready to swallow the vomit, the rot of the executive. Today, Alban Sumana Bagbin, Kingsford, has decided that no, Parliament must bite. And since he became the speaker, he's made some brilliant moves left, right, and center. I'll bet a couple of mistakes he might have made as a human being. But all in all, my brother, my sister, he has lived up to expectations so far. The naysayers have been relegated to the back bench, where they are taking a sun bath, better still, where they are basking. My brother, my sister, as it is their stock in trade, they would also always have a problem with a man who would serve as a hindrance to their flow of rot from the executive, my brother, my sister, all the way through Parliament, so they can have a field day, a walk in the park. Why is Blakk Rasta keeping so long on this? Now hear me now. Alban Bagbin, before he became Speaker of Parliament, we had an old Speaker of Parliament, with all respect, who could not even carry his own weight from out of his car into the Parliament House. They probably had to employ 2 other people to carry him all the way from his car and bring him all the way into the Parliament House, where he chaired over proceedings in the Parliament. Shockingly, this old man wanted to still run for the office of the Speaker of Parliament when he himself knew that he was not fit health-wise and age-wise. To the shock of Ghanaians, when he presented himself to start again, even members of the opposition, with all the noise that they made, and people thought that, oh, it's the usual noise of the opposition, some members of the government in power bought into the noise that the opposition made and voted against their own old speaker, and they kicked him out. My brother, my sister, when the speaker was kicked out, Alban Bagbin, by dint of some divine favor, found himself in there. And he's been running affairs. For some time now, he's put on some weight, uncomfortable weight. But my brother, my sister, when a man is aging, sometimes he puts on some kind of weight that is not healthy. Now, our fears were confirmed when it came out that Alban Bagbin is actually not well. And for that matter, just like his predecessors, the Michael Quays, the all of them, the same way that they flew out of the country, left, right, and center, most of the time unprovoked, all because they had at their disposal the taxpayers' money that they could blow away with no sense. Alban Bagbin decided that, well, if I am not well, and there is a chance for me to pick up this package, let me pick it up. And according to this communique, he is traveling with a skeletal staff of 4. If 4 can be seen as the skeleton, then my brother, my sister, you can imagine how many people were in the entourage of the other speakers when they traveled out of the country for medical review. Yes, legally, it is a package. And the package is that as a Speaker of Parliament or as a member of a certain department, you can go out for medical reviews, you can tap this package and that package. But today, my brother, my sister, 2 things I want to talk about. I do not want to politicize the health of the speaker. Because as it stands right now, my brother, my sister, the speaker has the right to take the package as it's been offered to other people. The speaker has been considerate as it's been contained in this communique that other people traveled with an elephantine members in their entourage, but he decided to walk with a skeletal staff. Can Parliament come out and tell us, in the past, how many people did Mike Okwei travel with? How many people did D.F. Annan travel with? How many people did ABCD travel with? Then we'll be able to appreciate what exactly it is to say skeletal when you are traveling with 4 people. All of them are supposed to be taking per diems. I've read something that says each one of them will take about $800 a day. As per diem. Per diem means per day. 800 American dollars. That is almost like 5,000 Ghana cedis plus a day when they travel. All members in the entourage would enjoy business class flying. All members in the skeletal entourage would be checked into expensive hotels at the taxpayers' neck-breaking bill. My brother, my sister, the doctors that are going to take care of these people are all expatriate doctors. In other words, they are not Ghanaian doctors. And therefore, you know how much it is when you pay expatriates. Ghanaians will do the same work and even better. But they will be paid as if they were in a circus in Kenyatta. My brother, my sister, Alban Bagbin said he has been considerate enough to travel with a skeletal entourage. Number 2, and that he has looked at the economy and how the country is suffering, and for that matter, he decided that no, he will not overburden the taxpayer. May I come in now? Mr. Speaker, I understand that your health is very important. May I ask, couldn't any doctor in Ghana be qualified enough to deal with your situation? Having asked this, can I just quickly go ahead and add, oh, are you afraid for your life? That the way these people are heckling you left, right, and center. If you went for treatment in any hospital in Ghana, they might just end up poisoning you so they can have their way with their demonic budget. Demonic ejapa. Demonic levy. My brother, my sister, is that your fear? Do you think that these guys could easily mafia you? Already they are spreading it in the media that you have stage 10 cancer. Or is it stage 100 cancer? As if it's a certain kind of cancer nobody has ever had and recovered. They will slap you with all kinds of diseases. If it is malaria, they would say it's cancer. And if it is cancer, because there's nothing worse than cancer, they will raise it to a stage that does not exist, stage 100. All your lungs are gone. Your heart has ceased to exist. In fact, you don't even have intestines. You are a walking casket. Is that your fear? If that is your fear, then I might say, oh, okay. Then let me look at it again. If it is not, and it's all because other people have taken that package, and for that matter, you deny Ghana that money that should have been recycled, and you've gone to give it to Arabs who already have been able to work hard to turn their desert into arable lands and to make it so attractive that you will leave your country that is surrounded by the sea, that all kinds of fishes can be found in the sea, that you live in a country whose atmosphere, my brother, my sister, is next to the Garden of Eden. You live it and go looking for treatment in a former desert. May I speak again? My brother, my sister, what does Dubai have that we don't have? What kind of leaders does Dubai have, the UAE, that we as a people don't have? If they can turn their desert into such very, very beautiful scenes. In fact, why are we unable to do all this? Dubai, a few years back, was nothing more than what we have here. Today, what magic have they used? What kind of leaders have they employed? What kind of leaders do we have? That Speaker of Parliament and some other members of the executive and the judiciary ran to Dubai, to South Africa, and some other countries at the least provocation of a sickness. My brother, my sister, I have said it time and again, and I am going to repeat it. If I was the president of this country, which I will never be, no member of this country, from the judiciary or the executive, would ever leave this country for education, for what is that thing called health. When we slap this kind of sanction on them, they would make our educational system better because they have all the keys. They make education worse so they can fly their own children to Harvard. Our children will remain at Saito fighting over kurikuri and masa when the teacher is busily teaching mathematics. They fly their children to Harvard when our children are still here fighting over kurikuri and masa because the English teacher is not around and there's a field day for misbehavior. In fact, how many times have you gone to Saito? I went to Saito, so I know what I'm talking about. Saito is the public school, the government school. Do not be surprised that the biology teacher will come and be teaching English. All because the English teacher did not come to school. Hey! The English teacher did not come to school. And for that matter, they have gone for the science teacher to come and teach English. The science teacher did not come to school. So they've gone all the way around to bring the tree teacher to come and teach science. That is when you hear things. That is when you hear things. Pronunciations thrown left, right, and center with no respect. Q1, Q2, minus, subtract, this is collect, and that kind of language. My brother, my sister, the nation is tired. The citizenry have long been tired. Bagbin could have stayed in this country so that the government could take care of him. After all, I believe that we have good enough doctors with brains to deal with any sickness in this country. Unfortunately, can the system be trusted? Anybody can be manipulated in this country because we live in the jungle where people have no sense of human rights. Everybody shouted, "I will show you where power lies," with no sense. In this country, human rights is a figment of somebody's imagination. In this country, my brother, my sister, nothing works aside stupidity and foolishness. I wake up early in the morning and I go on Twitter hoping that people would tell me some wise things and I look in the trends, what is trending? Aboa, kwasia, wuche, fool. What shall I say? These are the trends in the country. Do you know what it means to say Twitter trends? That means what the citizenry is talking about on Twitter. What is the citizenry talking about on Twitter? I go on Twitter and then I look at the trends. As I told you, Aboa is trending. 7 million tweets on Aboa. Hey, Wuche. Hey, fool. Kwasia. Hey, Washawase. All of them are in the trends. Nobody is talking about science. Nobody is talking about anything developmental. Courtesy defense wall. Nobody is interested in it. Everybody is going up around Washawase. 7 billion tweets. Aboa, 3 billion tweets. Courtesy defense wall, negative 10 tweets. Is this a country that is human? Is this a country that has sense? That's what is in your tweets. Go on Twitter right now and see what are in the trends. We are talking about unnecessary things. We are being killed by an e-levy. It won't trend. We are being killed, my brother, my sister, by MPs who are misbehaving in parliament. It won't trend. What will trend is the insults they throw at each other. Aboa, kwasia, wuche. I wake up and for a whole month, wuche is trending. And I'm like, what is this? Can I check it out? And I check it out and people are just fooling. When you go to a country that has sense and brains, when you wake up in the morning, what is trending is what determines their development. Oh, there's a broken bridge. Oh, there's a dam that has been fixed. Oh, there's a new science apparatus that just came out and it's confirmed that there's a treatment for a certain disease. Oh, hey, somebody just went to the moon right from our country and he is on the moon looking at things and we are all making it trend. Not in this country. When the Shay is twerking and it is trending. Somebody who doesn't speak English tries to speak English and makes one mistake. It is trending. Foolishness and idiocy. So for that matter, politicians take you for a ride. After all, you're stupid. All you want to talk about is foolishness. So they'll give you heaps of foolish things to talk about. Sometimes I sit behind and I say, Jesus have mercy. Can I just leave this space? And may it be forgotten that I ever even existed. Because it looks like it's a big regret to belong to a country of brainless idiots. They are not interested in the content for development. All they are interested in is clout chasing. And they don't care. They could strip naked to get the clout. Hey, they could sleep with a goat or a sheep in order to get the clout. But to build that broken bridge to get the clout, no way. Because it's an idiot. Courtesy defense wall, forget about it. It gives me no clout. What gives me the clout is when I run around talking about gays and homosexuals. So that gives me the clout. How can such a country grow? Everybody's talking about Omicron all over the world. That it is the third wave of the corona. 99.9999% of Ghanaians think that Omicron is the name of a footballer from Italy. After all, Idiots in Ghana are still betting night and day over which player is going to score, which team is going to score. They have totally forgotten about Abedi Pele, who did everything he could for Ghanaian football to reach where it's supposed to reach. They have forgotten about the great Anthony Yeboah. They have forgotten, my brother, my sister, of the great Robert Mensah, my brother, my sister, who did all he could to be able to put us on the map. A country that forgets its heroes is as good as Washawa say. A country that forgets its heroes in the twinkling of an eye is as good as Wuche trending every day. Is as good as Aboa trending every day. Is as good as Fool trending every day. So when politicians realize that they are ruling over idiots and fools, they will relegate all of you to the circus. We are surrounded by demonic elements, demonic politicians, and all we need to do as a citizen is to duck. And when we duck, they will shoot each other. You want to hear it? I am saying that we are surrounded by demonic elements made up of demonic politicians surrounding all of us, the citizenry. And all we need to do, my brother, my sister, is to duck. Once we duck, they will shoot each other. And we would have been victorious. Somebody won't see the wisdom in this. He only sees wisdom in Washawa say. He only sees wisdom in Wuche. He only sees wisdom in fool. He only sees wisdom in foolishness. That is why your leaders will keep flying out of the country, relegating the Ghanaian doctor to redundancy. You want to hear it again? I am saying that is why your leaders will fly out of this country at the call, at the beck and call of Qatar. Mere Qatar, they are out to take injections from expatriate doctors, relegating your doctors with so much brain to nothing but redundancy. Brethren, let's sit up, man. We have been asleep for far too long, and the way out is to wake up. All we need to do is to stand up. They have been playing a game of chess, political chess. Yes, political chess on our backs. Our backs are breaking right now. The only thing we need to do is to rise, wake up, and the game is over. This is too deep for somebody. They won't get it till I'm dead 6 million years after. Then they will have little brains. What a country. Jesus have mercy. Right now in this country, another name for hypocrisy and dishonesty is business. You ask any idiot on the street and they tell you they are businessmen. You ask them what kind of business they are doing, they get offended. Because in Ghana, to say you are doing business means that you are being dishonest. You are a criminal. How many people steal from people and they call it business? If they don't call it business, then they call it connection. I went to school in Kumasi. Thieves will stand on the road. In fact, Kejetia market, holding watches, wrist watches. Say, hey, Charlie, unta watch. We a connection watch. Connection watch. It's just a watch. No? Ukoto adia yawia. And another name for stolen items is connection items. Where your connection shoe, Charlie. Connection shoe. A monochain. Connection. And those thieves are called connection men. What connection? Are you an electrician? What connection are you doing? Are you an electrician? Hey, are you working with water and sewage? What do you connect at all? Connection watch. You see students walk out there and come back, oh, my top watch, wear a connection watch. Connection watch, my top connection shoe. Stolen items. Dishonesty has become the order of the day. So if you are dishonest, the politicians have a field day with your dishonesty. They become more dishonest after all. In their DNA, there is natural dishonesty. They fly out of the country and go to America for treatment. They come and tell you they paid from their own pocket. Yet when you check it out, it's from the taxpayers' coffers. Hallelujah. When are we going to rise? When are we going to be angry enough? When are we going to be able to say, hey, Alban Bagbin says, is flown out of the country with a skeletal staff. 4. Let them bring the bill. You will collapse under the heat of the tropical sun. And that might even be cool. Let them bring you the bill of Michael Quay. Professor Michael Quay, you'll be shocked. His bill would include his pets that he took to America for treatment. His bill would include an American barber. His bill would include, my brother, my sister, shoes and others. And some of these old men, you'll be shocked that their bill would even include Pampers. I won't be shocked if the president's bills will even include Pampers. Because when you see him wearing that oversized suit, you want to believe that there's something in there apart from his pot belly. A lot of them wear Pampers. And it's in the bill. You all remember when Chichinga Muntaka had to pay money to Malams for Bansiri, for the Black Stars to go and play football. Jesus have mercy. Hey! That the Black Stars were going to play football. And as part of the taxpayers' money expenditure, we saw Bansiri. Bansiri is amulets. That's a Malam sitting in Nima or Ashaiman, Tudu, Sukura has written some Bansiri for the Black Stars to wear around their arms or put inside their whatever and run and score goals. 21st century. Malams are still being paid to pour some rugutu on the heads of players to go and score score. They won't train. Bansiri is enough to let them score. You all want to win Ballon d'Or. You all want to be recognized around the world. Go and ask Messi how many Bansiris he wears. Go and ask Messi how much rugutu they pour on his head. Yet we need rugutu and we need all those Bansiris in order to shine. Oh, what a dark people. Hallelujah. I leave it here. Alban Bagbin, my final words to you, with all love and respect, couldn't this have been done in Ghana? Or, as I asked, were you scared that they might mafia you and kill you and come back and tell us that stage 1 million cancer killed you? If that is it, then give me time to go back and think and come. I leave it here, my brother, my sister. We have a lot of things to deal with today, and I need all of us to come together and let us discuss this. Amidu the talkative is in the news again. You all know Amidu the talkative, the so-called special prosecutor who was a special pretender. They gave him the opportunity, and he ended up calling the president the mother serpent of corruption, which I don't doubt. But he had the power to expose these people whilst in government. But he ran out of it naked to go and sit on the baobab, on top of the baobab, and cry foul. That was cowardice. My brother, my sister, today he's in the news. And this was published today, the 30th of November, 2021. It says, beware of kabuki dance to reverse irreversible rejection of the 2022 budget. And this is from Martin Amidu. I read, in Akufo-Addo's kabuki, we are the people who voted him into power. In Akufo-Addo's Kabuki, we the people who voted him into power are rebels, who are undiscerning of truth and reality, according to former Special Prosecutor Martin Amidu. I'll take it again. In Akufo-Addo's Kabuki, we the people who voted him into power are rebels, who are undiscerning of truth and reality, according to former Special Prosecutor Martin Amidu. According to him, government has a Goebbels mentality of being capable of winning over the electorate by deception and not the truth. He was speaking in relation to the majority side's walkout in Parliament before the vote of the 2022 budget statement on November 26. He explained that the reason preferred by the majority to explain their walkout was frivolous and entirely unfounded. Martin Amidu, however, opined that the majority's walkout was a ruse to hide the fact that they did not have the numbers to push for the approval of the budget. May I go further? Let me leave it here. Of course, this government has proven to us that it is a government of lies and treachery. It is a government of half-truths and a government that is nothing but a treacherous government. A government that promises you sky trains and comes to tell you that they couldn't get to the sky trains. They will give you balloons that fly to replace the sky trains during Christmas. A government that promises airports and seaports, my brother, my sister, aka Harbor, and comes back with its long tail and a pot belly between its legs to tell you that it was stupid to have promised you a harbor. After all, there's a harbor 2 centimeters away from where you are. A government that has no respect for the electorate can go and talk to a whole chief to shut up. A government that would be so interested in flying private, in other words, private jets. A government that is telling the people to go Ghanaian. Yes, patronize made in Ghana goods. Yet, the president is walking in an oversized suit with a pot belly. The president is running around speaking more English than Queen Elizabeth. When the president wears an African attire, it's like they've poured acid on him. He's itching to go home quickly and take it off and wear what his forefathers are interested in. And his forefathers, my brother, my sister, were nothing but aristocratic bourgeoisies. Wearing tailcoats. They will never eat until there is a knife and a fork and a spoon. They will never eat until they have a 4-course meal. We don't know anything called 2-course meal. All we know is that the kenke and fish radio, komi kenkena. That is our 10-course meal. After that, we drink water and we belch. So you are done. But we voted aristocratic bourgeoisies into power. We voted insensitive people as our leaders. So they fly left, right, and center. They have no respect for their own mantras and mottos. Made in Ghana, patronize. The pants he's wearing is made in China. In fact, the bed he sleeps on in his house, he's relegated all the ever carpenters to the background. Is imported from China. His toothbrush, my brother, my sister, is all the way from America. And the food he eats, my brother, my sister, you'll be shocked that they fly this food from Italy every night for them to eat. If they can fly Ajwa Safo, according to Sam George, all the way from Germany in a private jet, one person, just to come and vote in parliament for a budget that is nothing but demonic. Budget that was written by Satan himself. That you can see the kind of mafia people we are dealing with. Ajua Safu, right from the start, showed that she was not brainy enough, in fact, to be a minister. But because of some considerations left, right, and center, her baby father, Kennedy Japan, is probably one of the most powerful people in government. So according to he himself, he had to go and help her win an election. These are people born with golden spoons in their mouths. They do not know the suffering me and you know. They have never walked from Circle to Nima, let alone from Circle to 18 Junction, Lashibi, that I used to do every day when I was working with Happy FM. Walk all the way from Lashibi, 18 Junction, be walking. And when I realized people were realizing I was walking, trot drivers making noise, beep, 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 beep. As for the taxi drivers, it was even worse. They would shout out to you, say, hey, yeah, for taxi, what? Then you start jogging as if you are exercising. You know? We did all that. But these guys were born with golden spoons in their mouths. They don't know what suffering is. That is why, my brother, my sister, they cannot serve us. Witch camp in Gambaga. If you become the minister for women and gender, what would you do? I will rebrand the witch camp. And they decided to pass her. They passed her. Several times she couldn't even come for the vetting because she had a newborn baby. I do understand. When she came for the vetting, they said, let's make it quick so you can go home and breastfeed your baby. They asked questions that even the few questions she failed. And they still marked her. So arrogant. These people, when I meet them shoulder high. Because when you know you are doing the right thing, you don't kowtow before any such elements. My brother, my sister, according to Sam George, they had to fly her all the way from Germany in a private jet. Do you know the cost? Yet they tell you that, oh, there are no jobs. Oh, the government payroll is full. We have no money. That's why we have to tax you. Yet you have enough money to send a private jet all the way to pick up one member from Germany just to come and vote in parliament. Hallelujah. They never go to parliament with the passion until it's time to vote. Parliament sittings, you look around and the number of people there would shock you. But wait until they say there's going to be a vote. Even people suffering from cancer and they are in the doctor's hospital in Germany. People who have liver cirrhosis and they are in Dubai. In fact, people who have had stroke, 98% of their body has been stroked. They would find energy to come and vote. What a country. If we had the same passion that we have for voting, in building and developing our country, we will be far better than Dubai. In fact, we will be heaven. They won't see the wisdom in what Blakk Rasta is saying till I die. And I am gone 6 billion years after. Say, oh, he used to speak wisdom, but we're too dumb to understand him because we're wearing a political callous. Because he is a dreadlock person. And your mind has been so parochial. All you think about is, oh, he's high on a certain drug. For that matter, he says just anything. To God be the glory. Father, forgive them for they know not. I'm going to tackle the next thing. My brother, my sister, so what Martin Amidu is saying is nothing but the truth. Half-truths, lies, vicious lies, they will tell you. An old man telling lies is a joke. 77 years. He has inspired other sleeping people, like their Greek minister, Osei Akoto, to also attempt to be president. You think we are here to joke? You think we are jokers? You couldn't even handle agriculture. Prices only exist in your own house with your wife. There is nowhere in Ghana that the prices that you mentioned on TV exist. In fact, recently I decided that I was going to match a lot of the youths to him and tell him, show us where we can get plantain, a bunch of plantain for 4 cedis. Show us where we can get a bunch of plantains for 4 cedis. We are ready to do kelewele business. We are ready to do roasted plantain business. Kofi Brookman, you said we should look for employment. And if the Greek minister is good enough to tell us, oh, there is a place where you can get plantain, a bunch of plantain for 4 cedis, then after saying that, he falls asleep. Just like the president. Sleeping people. These are not serious people. Sleeping night and day. Then he wakes up and he conjures and conjectures prices. Kanjori, by the use of kanjori. Somebody would understand this. These are conjurers and conjecturers. They use kanjori to tell us prices. Fire burn them. Wicked people. Fire burn them. I leave it here. Dan Parry has arrested one of his own and he's locked him up. Is another policeman caught in a sexual harassment of a lady. Now the video went round. We all saw that video. But let me just bring you to speed as to what happened. I'm reading this from my Joy Online. This was published today, the 30th of November 2021. And it says, police officer remanded for allegedly harassing a lady. I read. General Lance Corporal Victor Boa, the officer who was captured in a video sexually harassing a female in a vehicle, has been remanded to reappear in court on December 1, 2021. The court presided over by His Lordship, His Worship. In fact, this one is His Worship, not Lordship. His Worship. Eric Denning remanded the officer after he pleaded not guilty to 2 charges against him when he appeared before the Sunyani District Court B on Monday, November 29, that's yesterday, 2021. Lance Corporal Yaboa of the Bono Region Police Command is currently facing charges of assault and indecent assault, which are contrary to sections 84 and 103 of the Criminal Offences Act 29. The police on November 27, 2021 arrested General Lance Corporal Victor Yaboa for allegedly sexually harassing a female in a vehicle. You see, my brother, my sister, when it comes to the police, I get so passionate. When it comes to the police, I get very emotional. My grandfather, Inspector Audu Kokankani, was a policeman. My auntie, Shetu Audu, was also a police officer in Kumasi. My grandfather was a Gold Coast police. In fact, who was transferred several times around Hohoi, Afife, and all those places. So when I meet the police, I have a soft heart for the police. If a country would develop, one of the very important foundations is the police. You know why? When you misbehave and die carelessly, you go on a drinking spree. That people are competing over who can drink apetition more. Not competing about who can build bridges more, but who can drink apetition more. And then one of them dies, like it happened at my area last year. One of them dies It's the police that will have to come and carry the corpse. When an armed robber breaks into your house, you do not call the president. You call the police. On the streets, when people decide not to go by the rules and regulations, Bob Marley said, life is full of signs, just like on the road. If you take the wrong sign and disobey the other, you crash and dead. The police would make sure that everybody deals with it properly. In fact, when we are fighting for our rights, you can't take the police out. Most of the time, the police must present a report for the lawyers and the courts to be able to finalize things. I respect police so much so that when I see a policeman involved in a nasty thing like this, it hurts me. Because my grandfather never did this. You are supposed to police the people. You are not a sex pervert. You are supposed, my brother, Jesus have mercy. The other day, a policeman impregnated one of my Rasta friend's daughters. And I followed it. I went to a Fiatinge. We did all the investigation, and it came out from the hospital that yes, there was a high possibility of this policeman raping this girl and having a baby with this girl. You know what the police did finally? They gave the girl a certain age so high to mean that, in fact, the girl was not defiled. There's a difference between defilement and rape. With defilement, you are finished. You don't have to prove whether you raped or not. Look, when a child of about 14 comes to beg you to even sleep with her, and you do, it's defilement. It's worse than rape. The police found a way, and I'm going to Dampari. Yes, there's a meeting lingering between me and him. I'll go to him. I will bring this matter up to those of you who think that we have forgotten. We have all the papers from the hospital showing that this girl was a little girl at the time that this policeman was sleeping with her. She got pregnant. Hear this. Policeman said he was not responsible. Oh. No, I've never even slept with her. Oh. In a country like this, that claims to be trying to fix a coronavirus vaccine, a simple DNA could not be done to link this guy to the pregnancy, to link this guy to the baby. The little girl is in the village there, farming. Policeman is still here taking his salary. When I see elements like this, it hurts me. The police is a very dignified profession. So bad nuts who come in to spoil the work of the police should be weeded out. Dampari is doing a good job. When you are doing house cleaning, you know what to do? You start from your house. You cannot leave your house and go out and be cleaning somebody's house before you can. No, clean from your house. We thank you for bringing this policeman to book, weed out all the bad police, and bring some dignity to the police. I leave it here. Well, I have just about 2 minutes more to go. The time has run so fast. 2 minutes more to go. My God have mercy. Well, there's something here. I'll just take it quickly, and we'll be done. It says 2022 budget rejection. Ken Ofori-Atta refused to answer phone calls from Speaker. Banda MP discloses, and I read. Deputy Minority Whip of Parliament, Honorable Ahmed Ibrahim, has alleged that the Minister for Finance, prior to the rejection of the 2022 budget, had on countless times refused to answer phone calls from the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, According to him, the incessant calls to the finance minister was for him to avail himself to parliament for further discussions in parliament on the 2022 budget. So if this happens to be true, whose fault? Maybe he refused to pick the call because, as they always believe, the opposition is a barking bulldog. They throw meat at you and then you vote the way they want you to vote. But it looks like this time around, opposition says, Dapida, we are not taking any meat. We will go after your boats. To God be the glory. I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. My name Blakk Rasta. I honor you. I thank you for coming along. It's been the Black Pot, aka Kukushunomo. My brother, my sister, where we always speak truth to power. We normally don't criticize, but if we must criticize, we will, only to build and not to destroy. And remember, my brother, my sister, I am not always right, but I strive as much as I can to bring you nothing but authenticity. The name Blakk Rasta has been the Black Pot. Happen.